The thing is that this deck, I think, really properly showcases how many win conditions Lissandra enables. And I haven't heard any whispers, like, of high-level players going, oh, Ezreal Karma is so strong right now, you have to try it, you know what I mean? Ezreal Karma could have some reversions to it, I think. Because, like, Karma died for Ezreal sins, and now that they reworked Ezreal, they could maybe give the deck something else to do. Like, if it wants to be just... The thing is that the problem with Ezreal Karma was, like, burning your opponent at burst speed like that. For a deck that got to, like, just round 10 pretty easily. Whereas we have decks that kill you on round 8 consistently now. We'll keep Rite of Negation. But... What was I gonna say? We also have decks that are, like, just value-generating cards. Like, decks that are based completely about just generating tons of resources, which is what Karma was originally supposed to kind of be, an over-the-top value generation tool. So, I mean, both of the things that Karma does that were, like, really bad for the game, I'm gonna take the other Frozen Thrall. I'm gonna be kind of greedy here. This is dangerous as hell. Karma Ezreal falls under the umbrella of control decks that are obliterated by Matron Watcher. Exactly. Like, even if, like, old Karma Ezreal existed, like, it wouldn't be, like, super overbearing because of the Watcher. So, Shyvana here is extremely rough, but we've got 3 Thralls cooking. Actually, I just realized the Dragon Guard Lieutenant doesn't have challengers, so they didn't have a dragon at the time they played that on round 3. So maybe we'll get lucky here. We've got all 3 Thralls and Draklorn Inquisitor though. What if we gave Karma Ezreal ramp? I mean, that could definitely be a fun concept. Yeah. These last 2 games, I think, have shown me I do want triple Promising Future. Because getting Promising Future like here is nasty. For this matchup that can't answer landmarks at all, you get to set it up. Damn, my opponent's hand is awful. Alright, let's boogie woogie. Bop. Oh. Fused Firebrand. I'm glad I open attacked. I can just entreat. It's usually either 3 Promising Future or 1 Talia. So they have to kill the Draklorn Inquisitor. Cute. I could entomb the Jarvan. Or I block like this and force their single combat / sharp sight. Because the Thrall still lives. I mean, it makes sense to give Ionia some ramp. They do have the Enlightened keyword. They were the original carriers of the Enlightened keyword before they gave it to Anivia. And I think that Ionia should have more Enlightened keywords. We talked about that when we went over just Ionia as a region. They have so many, like, half-supported mechanics and archetypes. Yep. Single combat. So we can't entomb here. Actually, I think this is fine. I could entomb my own Lissandra, but that doesn't make any sense. Because this is just a 1-for-1 trade. My opponent's out of mana. I can still play the second Draklorn Inquisitor. And then we just attack you. Karma has more interactions with FL cards from Ionia, which is hilarious. What do you mean, FL? I have right of negation for Concerted Strike. Oh, Freljord. Oh. Yup. Gonna say no to drugs. No, destroying one of your mana gems isn't a real cost for this card. I swear, it has never mattered. So now they have no mana. We've got the Draklorn boy. Got Lysandra. Yeah, the Entreat is godlike. You think Riot will nerf TLC and Nasus Thresher, maybe some buffs to Bilgewater? Hopefully. Because the big thing is that everybody wants Azir Aurelia to be nerfed. But if they do that, then... What the hell? I just realized I'm down to 8 HP. Oh, well. I mean, as long as they didn't get... I think that, Firebrand was what they got off of Egghead Researcher. So as long as Egghead Researcher doesn't, like, generate an Empyrean, we're good. Why is Ionia Freljord not working as a region combo is done? Obliterate deck? No. We're just gonna kill them. But yeah, we actually do have Discounted Watcher. I wasn't even caring about this win condition. But yeah, I mean, if they have some way to survive this, then I deserve to lose. If they can wipe my board with, like, double Sharpsight Judgment, I think they have enough mana for. So it's not double Sharpsight Judgment. Aw, shit. Oh, man. Lysandra, 4 HP plus tough. Shyvana's not big enough. We do BM with the Ice Shard, yeah. They could have, Guiding Touch, though. Like I said, because Aurelia Azir is the shining beacon of what the player base wants nerfed right now, it kind of obscures the rest of the stuff that should be nerfed. I like this whole hand. I could maybe get something a little bit better than Flash Freeze.
Nope.
Thralls maybe could be 7/7s, but I think it's probably more about increasing the requirement to discount the Watcher. And the thing is that you're like, you're kind of sort of favored in this matchup to a certain extent. It all comes down to whether or not they have Homecoming for your Thrall before it hatches. Every good deck in this game will forever be toxic. It's usually just because the decks that are really strong on Runeterra win through, like, really, really obnoxious means. 7/7s are a huge nerf. Yeah, if this deck doesn't get any more support, then it ends up being in a pretty good spot. Chronomancer's nice. I think the trick with this deck is to like pop off when they don't have the means to homecoming your thing. We want 4, 3. We want Clockwork Curator. We need the body. We can Promising Future this Frozen Thrall this turn. Maybe try to save the Ice Shard for down the road. We should probably Ice Shard now, just to sidestep this 4 damage. Shape Stone is always going to be pretty rough regardless. Yeah, exactly. So this is a bit risky. I don't think you actually go for the Promising Future here like this, because even though I'm drawing the Clockwork Curator next round, I won't actually be able to hatch this. I'll be 1 round off. That gives them a chance to homecoming the next round, so this is a bit of a huge risk I'm taking. It's ironic because I played against Thralls back, you know, a couple weeks ago when the expansion first dropped, when I was testing out Talia Malphite, and it's a pretty fun matchup because you have Desert Naturalists to stop their Frozen Thralls, and you have, that's one of the matchups where Unstoppable Force is really strong, actually. They gotta have Homecoming here, right? There's no reason for you not to do it. And I don't have Rite of Negation to stop it. It's just unfortunate because the Thralls are gonna hatch on defense. If they go for Homecoming, I can counter with Ice Shard.
May my steps and my heart be light as air.
Your Emperor commands. Tell the people what you have seen today.
Listen to me.
I mean, that's how it is in all card games, where good decks, like, break the rules. Like, good decks can't just have good cards. It's usually cards that break the rules. But what my point about that thing, though, Mad Wheels, is that because Runeterra is established in such a way where breaking the rules isn't necessarily part of the... Like, there's certain games, like, where it's written on the tin. Magic the Gathering is, the point of the game is to build something that breaks the rules, to come up with some kind of wacky-ass combination, right? So they're retreating that. It's 4. This is a 4-drop, so they can't resummon it. They're just going to bring out an Aurelia, I guess. And we just have to pray against no Shape Stone, so we don't die to Greenglade Duo. But Runeterra is sort of marketed and designed as a game that's going to be, you know, a bit more fair on the surface. And there's supposed to be, like, more of a cat and mouse around, like, combat tricks and things like that. Like, some of the strongest tools by design of Runeterra are burst speed spells that manipulate combat stats. And when you have decks that, again, like, one of the biggest sins, of course, was even in the early days of Runeterra, where elusives were all over the place. And it was the best deck because it was just hitting you, but you felt like you couldn't interact with it in any meaningful way because you couldn't block their stuff. And they were allowed to block your stuff. And
Shows of power excite the people and quell our enemies.
I don't have enough mana for Ice Shard, Flash Freeze, and Kindly Tavern Keeper.
Remember our ancestors and fight for those who came before us. You cannot fight the code.
I mean, this deck has like 15 champions in it. Half of the deck are champions, right? So now I have Flash Freeze and a Tough Nexus. I'm going to keep the Flash Freeze.
Destiny
I can actually do this, and it forces them to swap the Aurelia away, and the rest of their board dies. No, I'm going to develop the Kindly Tavern Keeper here. I'll save the Flash Freeze to prevent a lethal if they pull off a crazy miracle. And I think floating the spell mana is better than developing the Frozen Thrall here. Now that we're getting free ice shards, we should be in the clear.
Turn back, trespasser.
I thought that was the point in all TCGs, was to build something you thought was cool that broke the rules, but I get your point. I guess I come from paper, so it doesn't bother me. Yeah. And I mean, this was a point that I talked about a long time ago as well, where you get Magic the Gathering poisoning.
Little blossom. Shatter.
Now, the big issue here is that I have to block all three because they can swap Aurelia in on reaction to the Ice Shard to replace whichever one isn't unblocked and still hit me. So it forces my Flash Freeze here regardless. And then I just Flash Freeze the Aurelia and then she dies. Yep.
Stinging cold.
I guess it was a little bit troll to not play this like 2 or 3 rounds ago. I was worried that I might need to keep some mana floated to make things easier on myself. But this is the true win condition, right? Is that once you have leveled up Lysandra, all of their Blade Surges and stuff don't matter anymore.
I wish I could give you silk, but I must give you steel. Stay by my side. I cannot ask for more.
Actually, if I don't block, I don't take any damage here. Yeah. I just realized that. I don't need to block there at all. I was hoping to draw something that I could play, rather than just committing the Clock Hand there. I suppose if I play Clock Hand, I get to bust open this Thrall, and I get 2 blockers anyway. Yeah, no, I'm just so used to blocking as much as possible in that matchup. My mental hasn't even shifted to understand my upper hand in that scenario. It is a completely foreign concept to me to have the upper hand on Aurelia Azir at any given point.